information to really target market to different segments of our membership and be able to provide, better servicing to our members. So that demographic information is really important to us. So any questions on that?
Cindy, I think I put it in the email, but I went on and logged into my account yesterday or 2 days ago, and I couldn't find where to put my age or some of that demographic information. So I don't know if I was looking in the wrong place or if we all have access to that. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, you should have access to it, and we'll put some more information out on it, and we'll do a follow-up on it. But you should have access to that when you go into your member profile, and we'll touch on that. I'll show you. We're going to show something here a little bit later, and there'll be a place that I can show you where you can go into that. And then if anybody is having any trouble with that and you can't get your information, you can always send an email to shared@afwa.org. Or you can even send it to afwanational@afwa.org. So either one of those emails, if you're having troubles, and we'll make sure that you get in and get your information updated. Because if we have to, we can have somebody call you and walk you through it, and we'll get it all done, because that is really important information for us. So thanks, Shelby, for mentioning that, because others may be having the same issue. Okay, so another area that I want to just touch on just real quick is our president's team. So if you're not on that team, please make sure that you either drop me an email or put your name in the chat. But we really do want to use that. And, we've been posting some things in there, but we really want to use that as a collaboration so that, if you have questions on something or you need help with something, please use that president's team to say, hey, does anybody have any ideas on, upcoming virtual programs that we can do, or, just whatever you need help with from a chapter, that you can get either from national or from other chapters. We really want that to be a collaborative tool where people are talking back and forth on that. So feel free to post whatever you want in there. And the only thing we would ask is that you not use that as a sales tool or a promotion tool for events. So we want that to be more information. We will put your events up on our website. So just try to keep that in mind. But we'll be happy to, like I said, if you're not on that team or you're not getting that, you don't have access to that link, let us know. Let's see, a couple other things. Just want to mention, we've got our March, we've got 12 free CPE. Make sure your members know about that, because that's a great way to retain your members. Just the cost of the 12 free CPE that they get really covers their membership dues. So make sure your members are aware that they're getting that and it's free. Our next one is coming up in March, and that's going to be Brian Bond. And he's doing a great program on acting as a trustee. And you may remember Brian spoke at our conference this past year, so he's doing that one. April is actually going to be using Sales Navigator, and Ty Hendrickson is going to be doing that. And so that kind of goes along with our program we're doing today on membership. So that's a great tool to use to be able to get new members and so forth in your area, as well as, for business. So it's going to be kind of a combined program that we're going to be doing with that. Just a reminder that we've got the AFWA leadership cohort setting up right now. We've got just 2 people that are signed up so far. And so we're looking to hopefully have some other people sign up so we can get a small group. I know Shelby, you went through that, and I can't really see who else is all on the line right now, but I don't know if you want to share anything on that about, Jennifer, I know you went through it as well. And so we're trying to get another one going right now. And the other thing we can do with that is keep in mind, that's something you can do in your chapter. So there's the resources, the tools are all there. You don't have to recreate anything. It's kind of hand delivered to your chapter, and it's like, it's got everything there. You just need the leader to guide everybody through it. So that's another great way to do that as well. So Jennifer or Shelby or anybody else that is on that wants to talk about that, is there anything you want to add on it?
Yeah, I'll say a little bit. I really enjoyed it. I found that what I really liked were the tools. They give you a lot of tools to kind of help you become more aware of things that you may or may not realize you're doing. One thing, kind of like journaling, like being more positive. That was one of the things that really helped me, was to be more aware of when negative things were coming out of my mouth, and to kind of journal them down, kind of keep track of it each day, kind of journaling things that you might be grateful for. So there were a lot of tools like that I got out of it that I found were really helpful to make me just be aware of what I was doing, and to be able to help me to become better at being a leader.
Great, thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would just mimic what she said, and I appreciated that during it kind of forced you to really go out into where I was working and like actually apply the skills at the time we were learning them. And that put it in the forefront of my mind that, oh yeah, I need to actually practice some of these leadership skills that we were learning in the course. So, and they kept bringing it up as you went throughout. So I thought it was a great program overall for continued supportive leadership skills. So.
Great, thank you so much. Anyone else? Okay, great. So again, I really encourage you to, try to, get people involved in that, because it really is a great program. And like I said, we were hoping to do 3 of them this year, and we were trying to get one started at the end of January, but we really need a couple more people to do it. So it's a combination of study on your own plus some in-person meetings. And so it's a really very interactive program, which I liked as well. We're in process of planning the 2021 Leadership Conference. We're very excited about it. We've got quite a bit of things planned already. If you could mark your calendars for June 17th and 18th, it is going to be a virtual conference, and we're going to be trying out a brand new platform that we're going to be using for the conference. So we're very, very excited to be able to share that with you. And we've got also have keep in mind that it's open to anybody that's interested in leadership training. We do encourage at least one person from every chapter to attend. And there are going to be 8 CPE credits available through that program as well. And, you'll be able to, we're going to try to be getting some pricing and scheduling out here shortly. So hopefully we'll have that out within the next week or so. We've got a meeting today that we're going to be finalizing some of the pricing and so forth on it. So we hope to be able to get that out. And then also with that, keep in mind that that is also our installation ceremony that we do on an annual basis to install the foundation and AFWA officers and directors. And we're looking at possibly doing some things for the chapters with that as well. So keep in mind that, we'd love to have you there. There's no charge for the installation program to attend that. So we're pretty excited about that, and that should be a pretty good event. We also just want to remind you, we got the conference scheduled for October 19th through the 22nd. And just a couple other updates. We've got national committees will be coming out soon. So we really are looking to expand that to try to get more people involved on a national level to serve on some of the committees and help us out. We've got a lot of work to do, and the board of directors just can't do it alone. So we really do need some help from the chapters and committees, members from around the country to help with some of those things. So if you're interested in helping out on a national level, we are always looking for people. So we'll be getting some more information on that as well. And right now we're specifically looking for people to help with conference. So if you are interested in serving on the conference, go ahead and put your name in the chat message that, we would be interested in, that you're interested in serving on the conference committee. So we'd love to have you. And then just a reminder, check out our online store. We just did revamp it. So we're going to be adding some new products to it. And if you haven't gotten one already, we do encourage you. We've got, I'll share these with you. We've got some great new AFWA masks available, so you can sport the logo. So we do encourage you to take a look at that. Just a reminder too, with our foundation, we've got the foundation update. The scholarship deadline is April 1st. And I know a lot of chapters do scholarship programs. So we do want to remind you and encourage you that, you know, go ahead and submit your top candidates as a recommendation for national scholarships as well. So just a reminder to do that. And then also keep in mind that if you have anybody in your chapter that's interested in a review course, we are looking for some people to, you know, for applications for that. So keep in mind, if you know somebody that wants one of those, we have about 20 different scholarships available a year for those. And Alana, I see you on. I don't know if there's anything you want to add on that or not. All right, we can't hear you. All right, Wendy, I don't know if
She's on the phone.
Oh, she's on the phone. Okay, Wendy, I don't know if you want to add anything or.
We have a number of scholarships, not only for the review courses, for CPA, CFP, CIA, CMA. So if anyone is looking to improve their certification or add a certification, it's a great and easy way to get some extra education on those items. We also have scholarships for dues for members who either have been subject to a natural disaster or such as the issue in Texas, or even COVID related, that we can supplement their dues on the national level to assist them during that time. And if they're unemployed, if a member loses their job and cannot afford their membership dues, that can be a supplemented scholarship that we offer. Natural disaster. I feel like I'm missing one. Alana, do you want to like hand signal me what one I'm missing?
Oh, I'm unmuted now. I'm on the phone. I'm the caller on the phone. It didn't link to the video. It's very upsetting. I couldn't unmute myself. It's very upsetting. No, I think you hit the highlights and everything, but we did want to correlate with chapters. If chapters have scholarship programs where they wanted to give them to students, we have so many that we do not give out every year. And we want to provide those as an additional benefit for your chapters to provide those. And if you guys come to us, we can see how many we still have left when the event is you're holding to be able to provide that for you. We haven't worked out all the logistics, but if we know you guys are going to have something and we get it far enough in advance, we could probably make that work. So we just want to get that, because if we don't utilize them, then donors stop giving them. So we want, give it away, give it.
So for example, if you have a student night and you want to offer a CPA review course or a CFP or CIA review course as a raffle prize, that's something that we can consider. Or if you're doing a PR dinner or some type of fundraising dinner, that's something that we, the scholarship committee for the foundation would certainly be able to work with you to offer.
Yeah, I think the key, we just need a little bit of advance notice on it, because we've got to do a little bit of coordinating with the committee and staff and so forth. So just give us a little bit of advance notice, and we'd love to help with that, because that's a great opportunity to also promote our, both Wiley and Surgent, who give us those course review courses. They are partners of AFWA, and it's a great way for us to promote them as well. And so we're very grateful for those. So let us know. And then just one other thing on the scholarships, for the dues, for people that have lapsed, their membership has lapsed. We also have a form that we have, we'll be sending out next week. So if you know anybody that would like to apply for that, they have anybody that's dropped since March of last year, we'll be receiving that letter that says, hey, did you drop because of, either the economic downturn or COVID or something. So we did have some special scholarship money that was donated to help us be able to keep those people as members. So if you know anybody on that, just please send me an email and I'll be happy to, get that, or you can send it to AFWA National too. I'll get that as well. But we really we're going to be collecting that list, and then the committee is going to be reviewing those to be able to select, the recipients for that as well. So keep that in mind. That's coming out next week as well. Okay, so anybody have anything else that they want to bring up or want to go over? If not, we're going to go ahead and get into our program. And thank you so much, everyone. I think, there's a lot of good things going on at AFWA, and we're just really very excited about it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started then. We want to talk a little bit about recruitment, because recruitment is just so important to our organization. And if you missed it last month, we did, talk about retention. So this is our recruitment program. And next month, we're going to be talking about, corporate and affiliate members. So there are 3 different levels of where you can help your chapter really increase its membership. So the first, to get started, we want to know, what's your greatest challenge in facing your chapter right now? So go ahead and put your responses in the chat. And if anybody wants to, talk about that, feel free to raise your hand. And we would love to hear from somebody, because I know recruitment is a challenge for so many of our chapters. And I'd like to hear from some people, what are you facing? What makes it hard for you to recruit in your chapter? Is there anybody that wants to share with that right now?
I can share, Cindy. This is Trina from the Richmond chapter, Virginia. I was going to say, one of the challenges that I had was our lapsed members, as well as just attracting more student members, but we actually did a couple of things that helped. So I'm really kind of sharing some best practices more than a challenge, but we did an internship program, which, gosh, I wish I'd realized about these other options, the scholarships and the et cetera, that I could have maybe dangled as well. But we really, our board members are the most involved in the chapter. And that, we really needed to spread out some of the responsibilities, as well as, in increasing our members. We lost some people over the time from COVID. So we did an internship program where we sponsored an intern to become a student member. And the student member, in return for the sponsorship, would help us support our website to make sure our content was fresh and engaging, as well as sitting on our Emerging Leaders Committee. And the Emerging Leaders Committee we developed about 1.5 years ago. And that was to give younger professionals in our chapter more of a voice in kind of the things we're doing and the events we're creating. And I think that went very well. We are planning a student night right now, so I'll be in touch with the scholarship committee. But we had 4 students step forward for the internship, and we ended up, the members actually ended up sponsoring all of them. So we had 4 become student members. They're great. They're adding a lot of energy to the chapter right now. And we've put them kind of in charge of our upcoming student night, so that, that we can get a little more buy-in from other students and have them, know about AFWA. So I think, that was one of our biggest challenges. And then the other is the lapsed members. And I literally just took the list and called through it and talked to all of them about what their reasons were. And we made a couple of tweaks to some of the things we're doing. I'm going to go back to a couple of folks and let them know about the fact that we can potentially get them a scholarship for dues, et cetera, because in some cases it was kind of a COVID related situation, and actually another was unemployment. So
well, Trina, that's great that you bring that up too, because, and one of the things we're trying to do from a national level too is to get those people before they expire. So in your chapter area, you do have the ability to pull those people before they expire. So that's what we're trying to encourage, and we'll show you a little bit of that today as well. But that's great. I love the idea of the intern sponsorship. That's a great idea. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Much. Anyone else? So it looks like we've got a couple challenges. Inviting to someone to a Zoom meeting is just not the same as networking as an in-person meeting. And that's very true. And I think we can, the one thing though, I have to give, kudos out to our foundation, because they've done a fabulous job this year with just engaging our membership with fun things that they've been doing. So there's some really neat things out there. They've done like a bingo night, a scavenger hunt, and just a lot of fun things that are out there. So another one here is getting and keeping early career members, and that is a challenge. And we get a lot of people that sign up because they're interested in our scholarships, and then when they don't receive the scholarship or they're not engaged on that level, then they drop off right away. So that's a big area of retention that we really need to focus on as well. So, all right.
Cindy,
Yes,
Jump in, Cindy.
Ellie has a raised hand.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ellie.
Hi. Yeah, I do have an idea of what some of the barriers are. I've been talking to some of our LAPS members as well. I would say number one on the list is the price of national dues, unfortunately. And I do think that adding the free CPE is really going to help, but it's not going to help our people who don't need CPE. And it's not going to help. We have some CFP members that we've lost because we can't offer them CPE. And I understand that it's expensive to offer CPE for the CFP credential, but that is a factor.
We actually are looking into that, Ellie. Somebody brought that up, and we found out that it may not be as expensive for us to do as we thought. So we actually are looking into that. So thank you.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, let us know the status of that if you start to offer that. Let's see. And then I just find that younger members tend not to be as interested in this type of membership organization. They tend to get their CPE other ways, and they tend not to, they tend to do things that are online. And we actually found that COVID and having to do meetings on Zoom actually woke us up to the fact that there's lots of advantages to being on Zoom. There's no parking. You don't have to pay for a meal at a hotel. So we're finding that it by itself is not a barrier for us.
Mm-hmm. Good. Glad to hear that. All right. Anyone else? Okay. Let's go on then and talk just briefly about your value proposition, because I think this is another area that sometimes it's hard, because I think we all need to be in a position where somebody walks up to you and says, well, why should I join your organization? I think that's a question that everybody really needs to be able to, respond to and answer, and can you actually define what your value proposition is? And are you including both your local and national value when you give that explanation? Because I think, that's something that's important too, that, we recognize membership starts at a local level. Most people join because they want to be connected with somebody in their community. They want to be connected, with people that are near them. The one thing COVID has done is allowed us to be able to connect, more virtually with everybody. So I think that's been a benefit. And like Ellie said too, that, in some instances, it hasn't been a hindrance. And I know from a national level, we've been able to reach out to people that we weren't able to reach out to before, and get people to attend events that they weren't attending before, just because we are doing more virtual. So I think that in that sense has been a big help. And, what is your value proposition? Do you know what that is? And can you market it to potential new members? And I think we always have to keep in contact with our members and survey them, asking, put out a weekly question, what's your favorite thing about the chapter? Why did they join? Why do they stay? Ask people, because what we have found when we have started talking to our members is the reason somebody joined and the reason that they stay are two entirely different answers. And I think, all of you probably can relate to that as well. You probably joined for one reason, and the reason you stay now is for a different reason. So the other thing is that we want to touch on is ask potential new members what they want, when you're talking to new people in your community. And I think that's the big thing, is just getting your chapter members to start talking to other people, to start getting them to ask people to come, because the number one reason people don't join an organization, does anybody know what that is? Somebody want to share? All right, everybody went silent on me.
Because they don't know anybody?
They don't know anybody. And the other thing is they were never asked. So that's the number one reason, they don't know anybody. They don't, in a lot of instances, we find too, people don't even know the organization exists within the community. So it's really important for you to, to get the name out and to do certain things. And we're going to talk about some different ways. Right now, we're going to talk about, how can you recruit some people? So there's a lot of different idea. Recruiting members starts, with your current members. So Catherine, go ahead to the next one. So we can, when you talk about recruiting new members, we've got a lot of different things. The first one is, host, bring a friend to a meeting, looking at encourage your members to bring someone that they might be a member, to get them to come to an event, and, doing some type of a fun event online, that it doesn't always have to be CPE. It can be simple networking. It can be, you can do different things, like book clubs. You can do, just fun, different things that you can do, like a cooking class or a wine tasting class, or, scavenger hunt. And then we also have the CPE. And if you're not aware of this, we have a whole host of programs that have already been run through AFWA, and they're all recorded that you can use as a general meeting for your chapter. So there are certain ways that you can actually even get the CPE for that as well, but it has to be the live program. And we can help you with that, but that's just one idea. So another one is to reach out to former members, invite them back, go to that lapsed member list and say, hey, we've really changed. We're trying to do things differently. We'd really like you back. People love to say, hey, we want you back. They love to hear that. So we encourage you to really, reach out and see if anybody's ready to come back, invite them to a meeting and say, hey, we'd like you to come to this meeting, give it to them, the first one free, and then, go from there. The other thing is encourage members to share your newsletter. If a lot of chapters will put out a newsletter, so we encourage you to share those newsletters, on social media, share them with, have them email somebody that they're, interested in getting to and join your organization. Doesn't hurt to send them an email a few times, just, say, hey, here's our newsletter. Hope you can join us. And then the next one is, help your members develop an elevator speech about your organization and about their membership, so that your members are prepared. And, we could do a whole class on that. So that might be a future meeting that we hold at some point in time too. Just, answering the question, why are they members? What's your biggest benefit of membership? And, can they explain the purpose of AFWA to potential new members? So those are all things to talk about. And I guess the whole basis of this is to start having this conversation in your chapter, because if we don't recruit and retain members, that, we're going to just keep dwindling down. And so we really need to turn this around. And when I think of the potential number of new members that we could have in this organization, it's just, it's unlimited. So when you think of it, so, ask for recruitment ideas. They may have an idea that you haven't thought of before, and know opportunities within their own social networks of, how you can recruit new members. Offer an alternate meeting time to attract people with different schedules. Sometimes chapters will sit and say, we're meeting at noon on the third Wednesday of the month every month. Well, that's great, but you might be excluding some people. So occasionally, do something different at a different time and a different day, or find out from your members, is there a day or time that works best for you? So in this next one, I really love, because this is a way to get the organization recognized within a community, and that is to volunteer as a group. We've got a lot of chapters that do this, and if anybody wants to share some ideas that you do in the chat, we'd love to hear them. But volunteer as a group, because that's a way to really get your chapter out there within the community, and people recognize, they're going to say, hey, who is this AFWA? And what are they all about? And that's a way too for you then also to get affiliate members, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. But I think that's a really good idea as well. Coach members on creating a welcoming experience. And I think this is really important too, because if a member comes to your meeting and they don't feel welcome, or they feel that it's kind of cliquey, they're not going to come back. So you need to have somebody that is getting potential new members to attend meetings. That's only half the battle, and you need to remind current members that, to greet newcomers, and, after the meeting, follow up with them and say, hey, what did you think? Just trying to get people to engage them so that they do come back. Create an invitation. Ask members to, coach members on creating a welcoming experience. Ask members to list their membership in their professional bios, so that when you're involved in other organizations and so forth, you've got, a member of AFWA, or I'm the president of AFWA, mentioning where the organization, whenever and wherever you can, in your social media, in your organizations you volunteer for, whatever you can get the name of AFWA out there, it really helps. And it reminds members to talk about it and start asking questions about it. Create an invitation email template your members can use. And we're actually working on some of these from a national level that we're going to be pushing out as well, that, here's an email template that says, hey, we're really interested in having you join us. Here's some information about us. Direct them to the website. So there's a lot of different ways that, we can encourage people to join the organization. And this is a big one too, is conduct exit interviews with departing members. If somebody doesn't renew, ask them why. Find out why they left your organization, because a lot of times the answer you find will maybe surprise you. And, one of the things that we hear often, because we do have an exit survey, and if anybody's interested in that, I think we put those in if I'm not mistaken, I think we did share that survey in the President's chapter here not too long ago, but we do have an exit survey that we send out when people don't renew. And one of the things that we find is the biggest reason people are leaving is because they say that their chapter is not active. Or the leadership was kind of cliquey. And, I tried to get involved and I couldn't get involved. So be aware of those types of things and make sure that that's not your chapter. And one of the things too that I think is really important is, making sure that you have succession leadership planned. Because when you don't have leadership that changes, you end up with getting people where nobody wants to get involved because they're like, well, Cindy's doing it all, she doesn't want me to help, or, you start getting that. So make sure that you're changing leadership every year, and that you're not, and I realize it's hard to get people involved, and, but offer some kind of co-presidency or something along those lines that you can look at. So, just some ideas to share with you on how you can recruit new members. There's, again, we're going to be doing the Sales Navigator training here in April. So I do encourage you to try to attend that because that will be a great tool. And if you specifically are looking for, we do have Sales Navigator at National. So if you are looking for a list of members in your area, let us know because we can actually send you that list. So we're trying to work with the chapters more directly to help them with the recruitment area, that recruitment area as well. So let us know what we can do to help in that area. So let me just take just a quick second. I know we're running out of time a little bit, but if there's anybody that has any other, quick recruitment ideas that they think would be really successful. Or if you want to just put them in the chat, you can do that as well. So the question is, what is Sales Navigator? Sales Navigator is a tool that works in conjunction with LinkedIn. So it works off of the LinkedIn platform where you can actually pull out, like, let's say I'm looking for, members in the Wichita area, that I can go in and find anybody that's in accounting and finance in Wichita. And I can then use that to create a list that I can then use to start marketing to. And there's another tool that Ty will talk about. And Catherine, I don't know if you're not on mute, but I'm trying to remember what it was called. But there's another tool that works in conjunction with it that we're starting to use to be able to get the email addresses from those lists, because that's the biggest challenge I think we have, is that we don't have email addresses or phone numbers. The other thing we're using right now is Mary, we may want to post these lists. We've got a top 400 accounting firms in the country, and you could actually use that list to, see who's in your area, to be able to pull those up so that you can take a look at those. And that's a companies right there that you can go after. But look around your community and see who's there, who's not a member of our organization, and start developing your list. And I know that all of this takes time and that you all have full-time jobs as well. And, but the organization is important. And so I do hope that some of you can find some time to help in this area with your chapter, because I think it really is important. Okay, so let's move on. If you have any ideas, if you want to put some ideas in the chat, we'd love to hear them. So I want to touch just briefly on this, and we're going to do a whole program on this because I think this is really important. So we have a category in membership called our affiliate membership, which is really somebody that is maybe connected with your members, but not necessarily an accounting or finance person. So it might be somebody like, for example, that has an accounting software program, or they might be a technology company, or, all different types of things and different types of businesses that you can look at. So I encourage you, again, to look in your community and see who's trying to do business with your members, because those are the people that you want to contact for affiliate membership. So affiliate membership is just really a great way to increase the membership in your organization, as well as, building your chapter. So I really do encourage you to kind of take the list and, even if you come up with the top 20 list in your community, who are the top affiliates in our community that we'd like to get. So, and here's an example. We do have a new partnership that we are putting in place right now. And some of your chapters may have already been contacted because they are really anxious to get started. And, but we've just signed a new partnership agreement with ADP. And so ADP partnership, I think, is going to be really helpful. Because they have reps all over the country. And so the reps are really anxious to get involved with your chapters. So if any of you are interested in having somebody from ADP reach out to your chapter, just again, put your information, put a note in the chat section, and we'll go ahead and make sure that we get an ADP partner to work with you, because what they will bring to the table to you is those business leads and the business contacts that they have to be able to join membership in your chapter. So I think that's something that's really very helpful as well. The other thing that is important is, we do have some other partners through AFWA, such as, Robert Half, we've got Wiley, we've got Surgent, and there are reps from those companies that are within your chapter as well. So, for example, Robert Half is a really big partner of AFWA, and they also have connection of other business people within your community. So don't hesitate to reach out to those people and say, hey, can you help us get members for our organization? We really would like some help in this area. And, they can't give you their list in many instances, like ADP can't give you a list of members, but they can reach out. They can contact those people. And if you've got some events set up, it's an opportunity for you to get people to attend those events, show off your organization, and then get people to join the organization from that standpoint. So again, I just want to touch on a couple other things. Go ahead and go to the next slide, Catherine. So again, look at your chapter, create your own membership campaign, and we would love to help you with this. And we would love to, let's start using the president's team to share some ideas, host a meeting with members to discuss your membership campaign, look at your chapter and get a few people together to say, hey, we really need to increase the membership. How can we do it? I would love to sit in on one of those meetings. I know Mary would, Catherine would, and we've got quite a few different leaders from the board of directors that would love to, sit in on those meetings and help you with that. So by all means, we've got a lot of resources that we can share with you to be able to help you get this going in your chapter. Set realistic goals. How many members do you want to recruit this year, this month? How will you get there? Just focus on a few strategies. You don't have to do it all. Just, get a, maybe you want to work with, ADP. Maybe you want to focus on some affiliate members. Maybe you want to, work on some student membership. Just decide what works best for you and stick to it. And, and this is really important. Stop doing anything to get members, because one of the things that really sells your organization is your organization itself. If you focus on making your organization better, it's going to sell itself. Word of mouth travels fast. And, that's why I was saying, when you get into doing like the programs within your community, everybody looks around and says, wow, who is that group? And it builds that momentum. And so, that's something that I think is really important. And offer discounts to members only. We see so many chapters that, don't differentiate between their member and non-member pricing. And people say, well, there's no need for me to join, when there's only a $5 difference in your meeting attendance compared for a member and a non-member. And if you add that up over a course of a year, there's no benefit to join. So make sure that there is a difference. And, maybe you say, hey, you can attend the first meeting free. We'd love to have you just come check out our organization. After that, then, there is non-member pricing, and it works as an ad for membership to prospective event attendees to become members to receive the discount also. So, it also, keep in mind that, you don't want to give it away, because when you give it away, there's no value. So I think that's something that's critical as well. So we would love to help you a little bit with some other things. There are a lot of resources, use your social media, and also, make sure that you do recruit, use anything you see from AFWA national, feel free to share. Put your name on it and get it out. We don't care. We just want it out. And so keep members and potential new members up to date on events and announcements, share relevant content. And like I said, there's lots of stuff on our website that you can copy and share. And we put out a lot of posts, so we do encourage you to share those. And then also, there's a listing here of all of our different social media. So make sure that you are using that and sharing and hashtagging and all of that as well to get that information out there. So very quickly, we want to just show you a couple things. I think Catherine is going to show you. Let's put up the resources slide real quick and we'll review that. And then we're going to show you just a couple things. So as you're trying to recruit members, keep in mind there's a lot of resources that are available. We have a membership toolkit and a leader toolkit that's available through our website that you can use, that's got a lot of very valuable information. There are chapter reports that you can run right from within the AFWA website. Use the president's team, use that team to start getting a conversation going. We have a lot of chapters that have done this right. So don't hesitate to reach out to some of them and say, hey, can you help us with the membership in our chapter? And I'll use a good example is Kansas City. I don't know if we've got anybody from Kansas City on the call today, but Kansas City is a good example. That chapter at one time was just almost completely gone. They have turned it around and have quite a few different members right now. And so they've done a great job. So, don't hesitate to contact other chapters and say, hey, how did you do that? That's something that I think is just always really, really helpful. Our national staff, we are here to help in any way that we can. We just need to know what you need. If you have a flyer that you would like personalized for your chapter, let us know, because it's very easy for us to take any one of the flyers that we have and drop your chapter name on it. The chapter chats, we appreciate you being here for this, because this gives us an opportunity to share ideas and share information with you. Periodically, we do try to put out different articles and different information on membership recruitment and retention, and also, social media. And, using social media as a way, LinkedIn is a great resource to recruit new members for your organization. Reaching out to any of your followers on your Instagram page or your Facebook, just using Facebook as to set up an event, different things like that can really build up that database for you to be able to attract and recruit new members. And the other thing I really encourage you to do, and this is my philosophy, we laugh because we joke about it, but it's, beg, borrow, and steal from other organizations. Take a look at what other organizations are doing. I subscribe to a lot of membership publications. So, feel free to look out. There's even, I found here, not recently, they're called the Membership Guys. They actually have a membership podcast. So, it's really interesting what resources are out there if you just look for them. And so, the bottom line is that, from the national standpoint, we're here to help you any way that we can and to work with you. So, Catherine, if you want to just go real quickly to the, let me show one more slide here. Let's go to the next slide. Let's go to, and again, here's some information, and we'll get this slide presentation out to all of you too. So just make sure, and Catherine, I don't know if you can post this in the chat yet or not, but otherwise we'll go ahead and we'll email this out to you. But I want to show you just briefly, then if you want to go back, Catherine, to, let's go into just the leader toolkit and the member toolkit and just kind of show you all where those are at. And we're going to, when we send this out, these links are live in here. So we should be able to go in and show you all of these as well. But if you haven't had a chance to look at it, go into afwa.org and then go into, go into the toolkit. So if you look up there, you can see the leader toolkit right at the top. And then you can see there's a lot of information here available to you, where there's some different resources. We've got all the chapter chats listed. And if you click on like the membership toolkit or the leaders packet, there's a lot of resources available here, and where you can actually, we've got some older videos on here that we're going to be updating, but here's a stop right there once, because this is a good area here where you can actually go in and look at, you know, how to run your membership report. There's a lot of different flyers and so forth that are available to you to be able to, you know, use those flyers wherever you can. And if there's something that you want that you don't see here, just drop us an email, because chances are it's something that other people would like to have as well. So we'll be happy to create it. And like I said, if you see something that's out of date, you know, we've got a lot of information that's on our website. So we are trying to keep that up to date. And, you know, so if you see something that needs to be updated, you know, let us know and we'll be happy to try to get to it. We're trying to go through the whole thing. But I think one of the things that we'd love to just share with you is just to, you know, say thank you for focusing on this topic within your chapter, because I do think it's really, really important. So does anybody have any questions, or is there anything that you want to share as we go along here? Anyone?
Cindy?
Ellie, go ahead.
Hi, I've asked for this before, but one thing that would really help us and make our membership easier to keep an eye on is if instead of having the membership chair having to go proactively to the website and pull the reports and figure out who's joined and who's lapsed, it would be great if you could just automate that as an email, maybe on a, you know, you could do it every time you get a new member or a lapsed member, or you could just do it as a weekly condensed thing. But if you could automate that process instead of putting it on the membership to be proactive, the membership chair to be proactive, that would help.
Yeah, we are looking into that, Ellie, and it takes some pretty significant programming changes right now to do that. But we are looking at that, because that is the one thing I think would be very helpful, where what we're trying to get set up is that there would be an automatic notification to the president that, you know, when a new member comes in, and we're trying to post that list too. So if you watch accountability, we are posting that list on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis when that publication comes out, of any new members that we've received. And then, like I said, if you are looking specifically, and we can have, you know, the lapsed members for your chapter sent to you. So like I said, we're hoping to try to get that automated, because I think that would make it a lot easier. So we are trying to do some different things like that, but thank you.
Great, thanks.
I think Cindy, I think you are sending out new members, because I did receive an email about 2 new members. I know they were members just because they're a corporate member, and I had to get the corporate membership invoice worked out. But I did receive an email, and then Tanya sent them an email as well from the president's standpoint.
Yeah, and I think the big thing is just trying to engage those people as soon as they join, because if you don't engage them within the first 6 months of membership, the chances are that you will lose them after the first year. The statistics on that are just really, really high. So whatever you can do to get your members to engage them is really helpful. But that's a great point. Thank you. Anyone else have anything that they want to share, or anything we might have not covered that you'd like to bring up?
Cindy, I have 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
One is on the president's team that you're talking about.
Yes.
Is that just for the chapter presidents, or is it for any chapter leaders?
You know, we initially set it up for chapter presidents, but honestly, it doesn't matter who's on it. If you feel that, you know, like a chapter president isn't as active, just drop me an email, because we just want that to continue. So if it's designed more for presidents and president-elects, but anybody can be on that. And we also have, like, you know, both boards of directors on it, so that they are seeing what's going on too. So if you're not on it, or you want to be on it, anybody does, just, you know, again, put your name in the chat, and I'll be happy to get you on that list.
Okay. And then the second question, so the using the Sales Navigator.
Yes.
How does a chapter go about, again, getting that information from National? Just through email? Do you?
Yeah, just send us an email at
Okay.
AFWA National and say, we would like some help with, names from Sales Navigator for our chapter. And we'll work on trying to get that to you.
Okay.
All right. Anybody have anything else? All right, we're at 1:03, so sorry to keep you a little bit over, but thank you all so much. I hope that you found this to be very valuable, and I just really want to thank you all so much for being here, because I really appreciate it so much, and it's a way for us to be able to communicate with the chapters and members of our organization. So on behalf of our leadership and myself and the staff, we just really want to thank you so much for all your time and all that you do, because, without your commitment on the chapter level, national wouldn't be anything. So thank you all so much for all that you do. And for all of our national leaders that are on, thank you all too so much for everything that you do. So, all right, everyone, have a great week, and we will be in touch. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Cindy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.